Hi everyone, Materim here again with another battle report. This one is actually two armies of mine. My friend Michael, after our last game, decided to play something a little different, so he picked up my Empire, and I grabbed a random Demons of Chaos list for a 2,000 point battle line scenario. So here's our board. Really, the only two things to note: the water is a torrential flood, so it's dangerous terrain and +3 to initiative. And the wood building in the center is a dwarf brew house, so it's radiating stubbornness for the Empire forces, which, sad to say, I forgot, and you'll see what that leads to here in a minute. So on the Empire's left, they've got a 15-man unit of spearmen with full command and a detachment of 5 archers, and he's pointed that way because he expected me to have Nurglings, so he wanted to cover in case I put him over there. Next to that is a unit of 10 Inner Circle Knights with the full command, the standard of discipline. With them is Sir Helmut Vierbaden, my Grandmaster General, or rather his Grandmaster General, with Sword of Might and the Dawnstone. Behind that is a unit of 4 demigryphs with the steel standard and full command. Then he has a unit of 30 halberdiers. With them is Felix Weishoff, the level 4 mage to the Lore of Light. He has a Dispel Scroll, Seed of Rebirth, and the Iron Curse icon. Also there is Father Eric Rotschaft, a warrior priest with the armor of meteoric iron, and Captain Derek Hosberg, captain of the Empire and standard bearer. He has the Sword of Battle, Enchanted Shield, Luckstone, and Potion of Strength. Behind that is my Celestial Hurricanum, and off to the side there is an Imperial Great Cannon. And then scouted in the middle of the lake here is a unit of 10 huntsmen with full command. And I have a 20-man unit of demonettes here. With them is my Herald of Slaanesh, who's a level 1 to the Lore of Slaanesh, with 2 lesser gifts. She got the Strength 2 breath weapon with no armor saves allowed, and Multi-Wound 2. Next to that is my Exalted Seeker Chariot of Slaanesh. And then up front, vanguarded up a bit, you can see is my Seekers of Slaanesh with full command and the Banner of Swiftness. Then I have another unit of 20 demonettes with a herald in there, and both of my heralds have the Always Strike First locus on them. This one is my BSB. She also has 2 lesser gifts and got the Strength 2 breath weapon with no armor as well, and the other one I downgraded to the +1 Strength sword. Next to that is a unit of 6 Chaos Furies, marked Slaanesh. Then there is a normal Seeker Chariot of Slaanesh, and then hiding behind that is my Keeper of Secrets, who is a level 3 caster to the Lore of Slaanesh, and has 2 lesser gifts, the 2+ ward save against the first wound she suffers, and the second one I downgraded to the Always Strikes First sword. So, Empire wins the first turn, and he starts over here on this flank, moving up his spearmen and the archers. And rather than charge my Seekers with his Knights, he decided to move them up to make it an easier charge. So everything else here in the center kind of moves up as well, though he is leaving himself a nice firing arc into my Exalted Seeker Chariot from his cannon. So he's got a pretty strong line here. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do against this with Mono Slaanesh. I'm hoping to get in and Cacophonic Choir with my Keeper and see if I can help things. So we go into shooting. The halfling huntsmen here end up shooting down 1 Daemonette. And during his magic phase, I don't think he got anything off. I think I stopped him. But yeah, so we lose 1 Daemonette early from Huntsman Fire. And then his cannon misfires and is not going to be able to shoot for this turn or the next turn. So that definitely bought me some time. I'm hoping now I can sweep in with my Seeker and or my Keeper of Secrets and do some damage now that I don't have to worry about cannonballs for a couple turns. So Demon's turn 1, I move my Seekers here so that I can get a charge on either the archer unit that you can see here or the halflings. I'm going to be making use of the just crazy stupid movement on these guys. But the nice thing is the house right now is blocking me from line of sight from either the spearmen or the knights. So that's super good right there. So on my right flank, I'm using that tower to kind of cover me as I bring my fast units around from the side. I'm hoping to get around his line and just start nailing him from the back. And I parked my keeper behind the building here so that I can get a good magic line of sight on either the halberdiers or the knights. So it's pretty much a perfect setup for me. And with my rest of my units in the back, I pulled back a little bit and basically am making a kill zone. I'm hoping he'll come in. I can close the pincers with those two Demonette units. And even though he's got 1-up armor save, I think with Always Strikes First, I can throw enough attacks in there that I'm just going to win the war of attrition. And that's really my only hope. And apparently we see that Demonic Orchid has absorbed all of the Slanesh-based luck in the Warhammer YouTubers universe, because I throw my first spell, which is Slicing Shards, at the Knights, kill one Knight, but I miscast it, rolled a 2, and was sucked into the warp. So Keeper of Secrets, gone, bottom of 1, in exchange for a single Empire Knight. Totally not worth it. Totally not worth it at all. And here's pretty much all the movement from the Empire. His spearmen go into the building. The archers move up a little bit. His knights move over. The demigryphs reform so they'll be able to squeeze through the hole. And he's pretty much still presenting a line. My opponent's pretty sharp. He's not going to walk into this trap I'm setting for him. And now, without the Keeper of Secrets, I really don't have a whole lot to push him into it. So I'm scrambling at this point to figure out what the heck I'm going to do. And during Magic, he gets Time Warp off on his Knights, and I can't stop him because all I have is a level 1 caster against a level 4 now. And then his Halflings kill 2 of my 5 Seekers that are hiding in the building there. So, Demon turn 2, I charge the Seekers into the Archer detachment. I charge my Demonettes into the building. And I forget that with the freaking Dwarf Brewhouse, they're all stubborn. So, I'm going to have to kill them to a man. And I don't know if I've got the number of attacks, frankly, to be able to pull this off. I'm pretty sure that I can kill the detachment, but that main unit may be a little hard to get out of that building. Then here in the middle, I sneak my Furies around to the back. I really need to get into that Hurricanum and kill it. The last thing he needs is additional buffs and additional magic dice. So I've got to start kind of trying to dismantle his support before he just tears me apart with his big units. Then over here, I spin around the chariot so that I can come in. My hope here is that if he shows himself with the halberdier unit, that I can zoom in and kill his mage. So this thing is basically on an assassination mission, because if it can get in there, it might be able to kill the mage, but then the halberdier unit's going to eat it. So that's really my only hope, to have him impact here at all. Then over here, I just kind of changed the shape of my kill zone. I'm pretty sure at this point, if I don't take the building, that the Knights are going to come charge into the flank of my first Demonette unit. So now I've got it set up that if he does that, my chariot will come into his flank and the Demonettes will come into his rear. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we go into my magic phase, and I rolled a 5, which has Tzeentch hurling fire. The only unit he was throwing fire at was the halberdiers, but managed pretty much a direct hit. And as you can see, it just tore off pretty much that whole back rank off of the halberdiers. So that was pretty awesome. It's got me thinking maybe the dice aren't totally bending me over here, and I might have a chance. So we go into combat, and my Seekers flub, for lack of a better word, and only kill 3 of the 5 archers, and since they're within 3 inches of the building, they're stubborn, so they're not going anywhere. Then here in the center, I do pretty good. I kill like a whole rank of spearmen, but I lose 2 of my own when they strike back, and he's stubborn, so he sticks, and I get bounced out of the building. So we go into Empire turn 3, and as predicted, the knights slam into the side of these demonettes, and yeah, it's going to be messy. It really is. And then in here, he pretty much ignores my Furies in his backfield and kind of turns his line so that nothing else is going to sneak in, and moves his Hurricanum so that he'll be able to support the Knights, which is a good call, except for the fact that we forget to apply it this combat turn. But all in all, he's still presenting a really strong advancing line, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Particularly those Demigryphs, they're just beasts. So during Magic, I stop him from getting Time Warp up again, but I had to use all my dice to do it. So he lays into this Demonette unit with Shem's Burning Gaze and blows away 5 Demonettes. Then during shooting, he attempts to Grape Shot the Chaos Furies and misfires and blows himself up. The Halberdiers, however, don't panic. So in combat, I go ahead with my Seekers, kill the last 2 archers, and then reform here so I'll be able to get a charge into the flank of the Huntsman unit. So I'm pretty okay with that. And over here, the Knights absolutely flubbed. They kill 1 Daemonette and inflicted a wound on my character who moved over. I then turned around and just opened up with what I could, but then I breath weaponed Strength 2, no armor saves, killed off 3 of the Knights. So I actually won this combat, but he didn't break. So I just reformed to face him here, and now on my turn I'll be able to close the trap on the other sides. So Demon turn 3, I start by slamming the Seekers into the side of the Huntsman. He stays because he knows I'm going to catch him if he runs, but with the dangerous terrain for going into the water, I lose a Demonette. So that's 2 Demonettes against 10 Huntsmen, and I guess we'll get to see what happens from here on in. And here in the center, I succeeded the charges I needed to. Big Chariot slammed in the side, although it doesn't look like it just because those tongues on those creatures are just way too long to get in there. And the other unit of Demonettes in the rear. I know, though, if I don't crush him, I'm really going to take it from those Demigryphs, so this is kind of a suicide mission at this point, but I want to take those Knights out. And then over here, I did succeed my charge into his Halberdier unit. Came in, made my turn, and slammed right here where I needed to be to attempt my assassination mission on his mage, who is that different colored model on the right corner of the unit here in the front rank. So I'm doing D6 plus 1 impact hits on the unit, and then I've got a decent number of attacks. I'm thinking if I throw in all of my attacks into the mage, I should be able to take him out. And then if I can do that, I think points-wise, it's worth it for the rest of the Halberdier unit just to kill me. And to make it even better, I do manage to slam the Chaos Furies into the back of the Celestial Hurricanum. So I'm hoping they'll kill that. I'll do that fight first, so then he won't get the +1s to hit from the Knights. And I might be able to get this thing turned around. I still don't know how I'm going to deal with the Demigryphs, but maybe my character with the 5 strength armor piercing can help me get through some of those. But that's my only option at this point. So magic didn't do anything. So we go into combat. I kill like just a bunch of the huntsmen here. They break. I go to overrun. I catch them, but I lose another Seeker to dangerous terrain. Drowns in the river, I guess. But that's at least 1 less unit shooting around, and he still doesn't get the points for that, so I'm feeling relatively okay there. Over here, I end up only doing... Like, I kill a bunch of Halberdiers with the impact hits, but I only sneak 1 wound through on the wizard. But I only take 1 wound back. We both kind of flubbed, so I'm okay with that. Although, I think he'll be able to easily get in with his Demigryphs and ruin my day next turn if that's where he wants to go with them. So, speaking of flubs, my Chaos Furies come in 6 attacks. they roll nothing but ones and twos, so they totally lose. The guy with one attack on the back of the Hurricanum turns around and pimp slaps one of them and kills kills her. Um, he's losing, but he's within the range of the building, so he's stubborn and sticks. And I'm starting to lose hope in the power of Slaanesh. You would think if anybody could win with a surprise attack from behind, it would be Slaanesh. Not so much here. Guess the power of Sigmar is stronger. Then over here, I just open an absolute can of whoop ass. The knight unit just gets vaporized. Unfortunately, I can't land any hits on the freaking general, who is still within range of the building and is stubborn and sticks. So I'm just so frustrated at this point. I would like one die roll to go my way, and it's just not happening. I think I'm going to end up having to kill him, and I don't know that I have anything in this unit that's capable of doing it. He's got a 1-up rerollable armor save, and the best I've got is strength 5 armor piercing, and so I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off. But I'm hoping I'll just drown him in number of attacks, and something will sneak through eventually. And we go into Empire turn 4, and the Demigryphs come slamming into the side of this chariot. Again, we're not putting them adjacent because that's as close as they can really get, but he does succeed the charge there, and that chariot's done for. So yeah, it looks like I forgot to take a picture, but you can see the chariot got crushed. Everything over there reformed. Over here, the Chaos Furies and the chariot, or his Hurricanum, exchange wounds, so it's a push and nobody's going anywhere. And you can see his spearman popped out behind the building on the other side. So it's rapidly going against us, and here comes the rest of his army to save the general. So yeah, and here's just a better shot of what happened after he just smoked that chariot. Not only did he have way more attacks than he needed, but he ended up getting Briona's time warp off on the Demigryphs too. So it was just, I don't even think I made him roll the dice. I just picked up the chariot and was like, this is done. Because always strikes first on those Demigryphs. They were just going to rip it apart. But it looks like the rescue team came too late, because I managed to not do any wounds, but he lost through static combat res, was stubborn, but rolled a 12 for his leadership check and was out of range of the BSB. So the general breaks, gets run down by just about everything, and we go into Daemons turn 4. So Daemons turn 4 is just me kind of reorganizing. At this point I realize my only real hope is to get my BSB into the Demigryphs. Maybe get some more impact hits with the chariot. But really, the Strength 5 BSB is the only thing I've got that's even going to come close to getting through that armor. And so that's really my hope here. And as the sign says, abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Because I roll 3 for the Winds of Magic, which makes me take a demonic instability test for my last remaining character, the BSB, and I blow it. And it's blow it, and she gets vaporized, and now I've got nothing left to handle the Demigryphs, and it was getting late at this point. My opponent needed to get going, so I went ahead and surrendered here, and we shook hands, and it was a good game, but ouch, Chaos was showing me some pain. And so this is the picture of how the board looks at the end of the game. Yeah, I just don't think I had the tools to deal with what he had, particularly without the Keeper of Secrets. So it was a good game. It was fun. It was short, which is kind of what we were looking for, as he had to get going. So all missions accomplished. So needless to say, with the surrender, the victory went to the Empire. It was a very fun game. As far as my list goes, I definitely don't think I had the tools to handle the Empire. With the demon disappearing turn 1, I had no real magic to stand up against the level 4 Delight, and without a stronger anvil unit like the Plague Bearers, I just don't think the demonettes can hope to get through a lot of that armor, not without throwing my entire army at it. I mean, I did kill that knight unit, but it was one unit that I had to throw 2 units and a 250 point chariot at. And I wouldn't even have done that well if it weren't for the fact that both of my characters had the breath weapon that doesn't allow armor saves. So this is really the reason why I don't often run totally mono Slanesh. I don't think they're strong or they're tough enough to hold together in the face of a lot of more resilient armies like anything with 1-up armor saves. I usually like splashing a little Nurgle to provide those anvils, and it's definitely a big difference when you try to play without it. As far as the Empire list that my opponent used, this is the one of the Empire lists I've been working for a while to kind of learn Empire. So it was very nice to see it succeed. I think for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know of very many other changes that I would make to the way the list is set up, so that's pretty good. But all things considered, it was a fun game. It was nice just to get together and throw the old dice, even if it was me getting my demonic butt kicked. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please, if you have any comments, put them below. Subscribe and like the video if you haven't already. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.